Yes, now we reach the Q&A sessions with our dear speakers. After we thank them for يعني great presentations that they present earlier. Now for the questions and answer, for the raising the questions, I suggest to have like, we only have 20 minutes. We can select 3 to 4 questions from the audience, and we can present it to our speakers. They can discuss it, and we can hear يعني from all of them what they think about these answers. Now we will select the first one, Mr. Ibrahim. For our audience, I hope يعني you can be short and very specific, so we can have a good time for the answers. Mr. Ibrahim. Ibrahim Isa, if you can hear us, we can give you a few seconds. If your mic is not يعني accessible, so we can move to the next one. We have Abdullah Al-Bishir. Mr. Abdullah Al-Bishir. Abdullah Al-Bishir, can you unmute yourself? Okay, we'll move to Mohammed Hamouda. Maybe he's ready. I think the guys have a problem with moving or removing the mute. Mohammed Hamouda. Okay, we'll go to Mohammed Osala. We got to move. تفضل محمد.
Hello, sir. Hello. Thank you for inviting us and let us talk. It's very great to hear you all engineers. I have a question for the VCM, REDD Plus, and the VCS. We have VCM in DRC, large forest. How we can work on this field to decarbonize the electricity? The companies in Middle East.
So you are talking about the voluntary carbon market?
Yeah. VCM, VCS, and REDD Plus.
Okay, and I think this questions can be raised to Mr. Joel, huh? Is it
Yes.
clear, Mr. Joel?
Sorry, would you mind repeating the question?
Can you repeat, Mr. Mohammed?
How we can work on the VCM and VCS market, because a large body don't have heard about this carbon market. We want to tokenize our VCM. How we can work on it?
Okay, question I think now is clear. Mr. Joel, he's asking how can he deploy or apply the VCM even though there is no awareness or serious steps of the countries to go through that. What do you suggest here? Thank you, Mr. Mohammed.
So yeah, I mean, obviously, as I was kind of alluding to, it's a market that's maturing in lots of territories, but it is a global market. You know, we're seeing carbon projects issuing credits onto the VCM in all regions and in many countries across the world. So there is infrastructure there. For carbon project developers, it's of course about engaging with the accreditors of projects in order to issue credits onto the VCM. They need to be accredited. And you know, companies like B0 with our new ex-ante product, where you know, we are beginning to work with project developers at that very early stage to help and support them as they develop their projects to ensure that, you know, they understand the rating the projects would be given, and you know, make sure that they understand what it takes to develop a high quality project that can issue projects and be successful on that can issue credits and be successful on the voluntary carbon market.
Mm. Okay, thank you, Mr. Jay. Is there any يعني addition from our speakers? Any comments before we move to another speaker? Maybe I can raise it to Miss Sandra. Now for the new smart cities, they have you know, the establishment for or what do you call it? When you plan for smart cities, you can think about many things to be available to establish the smart cities. Would you in the near future, do you think you will take in considerations other aspects like carbon markets to be used in somehow, so you can go and you make your smart cities greener, more greener? Or what do you think if you have
Yes. Thank you, Salem. I think, yes, we are all moving to carbon credits and figuring out how that plays in a smart city environment. We're certainly looking at other forms of financing green environments. I was just talking about tokenization for green infrastructure, which I think is a sort of a new form related to Bitcoin and blockchain that I think a lot of smart city leaders are looking at. You know, I feel like there's a huge effort, thanks really to, I mean, I've really learned a lot on this call. There's a huge effort to say, let's figure out what the new technologies are. Joel, I would question this idea about actually really getting to net zero, but I think it's a noble goal. But I think, you know, there's such a push that I think one of the speakers, I'm not sure which one, said something about, you know, COP28 was different from all the 27 before it in terms of a focus on financing and money and where is the action and where is the private sector in making this happen. Governments see the need, governments and cities especially understand their vulnerability. But the money, in my opinion, is going to mostly come from the private sector. So I think that's another change for cities. But one other thing I have to say is that I know a lot of very smart smart city and energy experts that are women. And I was pleased to be the only woman on this roster, but next time we're going to do this, and I'm going to send you some names of experienced expert women in climate and climate change that you should have on this call. Thank you so much, Salem. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. And also I would like to transfer to Dr. Raed. He's talking and he gave us about the net carbon planning in the MENA region. How serious they can go through achieving the net carbon, and how is the PCM and other carbon markets can help in that, Dr. Raed?
I mean, I think the fact that we chose 2050 as our milestone post is a good thing. It gives us some time to really put our action together and try to take steps, serious steps that would lead us in that direction. I think political will is there, but we're lacking, unfortunately, in terms of availability of finance to so-called bankable projects that meet the expectations of the lenders and the equity investors, and you know, somewhat that is related to the maturity level of the regulation, if you will, in these markets. Now, obviously, setting a net zero carbon target is an amazing economic incentive for everybody in the market in which this is set up for. Defining sectors and intermediary steps that would lead us into that final goal, I think is very important, and provides opportunity for developers to really put their action in terms of technology selection and doing all the work needed by a developer seeking finance and so on. Now, carbon, obviously, to me, is the new gold. I mean, we can't do this without really utilizing carbon, be it a carbon credit or a carbon tax, however you want to frame it. The word credit sounds better than tax in many ways, but at the end of the day, we have to penalize those that don't adhere to the transition, and we have to award those that are doing well in that regard. I think the availability or the liquidity that will be unlocked through setting thresholds and metrics on carbon is amazing and can be definitely utilized to the transition. Now, one of the points that I think Joel, was focusing on, which is very important, not all carbon is the same, and putting just like a kilowatt hour from solar, or it's different from kilowatt hour from wind, different from any other source. I mean, there are colors and grades of how clean a kilowatt hour is, and that has to be reflected in terms of what's happening in the carbon markets. But I think this evolution is happening, it's accelerating, and it's good to see that, but it's all interconnected, I would say.
Thank you, Mr. Dr. Raed. Now we'll move to our next questions by AJ Shakir. Mr. AJ.
Hello, sir.
Hello, yeah. Hi.
Yeah. On the HVAC sectors, industrial sectors. So we talk more on the energy saving, green energy concept by reducing decarbonization, decentralization, and eliminating all the carbon footprint. So only can be achievable because most of the specs we are saying split case pumps, and then not using N+1 chillers. So this can be supported by government and the consultants as like smart technologies. So that's what I was looking into it, like an integrated technology, and then connectivities, like the smart equipments in the building sectors, so that more energy can be driven, and then probably a 0.6 kilowatt per ton, or either probably less than 1 kilowatt per ton. So this can save a lot of energies and can eliminate decarbonization and carbon footprint.
You mean the air conditionings and
Yes, yeah, HVAC sectors, air conditioning and chilled waters, and then all these sectors. Most of them, we are getting a lot of like almost 50% you will be getting more carbon in this industry, as in this industries.
So, and your questions, how can we improve the specs?
Yes, yeah. How can we improve this by all these sectors making a green energy?
Good.
So that only thing is that can we get into the integrated technologies instead of going into the old, getting into the mass pumps, or either oversized equipments, or either electrifications. So that is what my question is.
Let's see if Dr. Maybe we'll take questions to the Dr. Simon, if you would like to answer it. It's I think Simon is okay. Mr. Antonio, would you like to answer it? I think we missed the connection, Dr. Simon. Mr. Antonio, do you have any?
We can, of course, the especially on the Middle East, the wait for the ACs on the emissions is very high. First, I think we need to start also on the building codes, that starting from the building codes and on the specifications that we are applying to our buildings, to our cities, to our homes is essential. And also being the electricity subsidized, especially here in Kuwait, sometimes the people don't have the awareness, or they don't feel in the pocket the money that they are expending on the energy that they are from the consumption from the ACs. This is before the problem. Now we have the problem that the emissions that comes from the ACs that we need to work, and we need to work together. But I will start this working special on the building codes. We have most of the buildings here in Kuwait with the packaging units. We could change this to new systems on the ACs to start reducing the footprint.
Okay, and Mr. Simon, would you like to add any comment for the question?
Yeah, just sorry, I had a drop out at my end. Could you just repeat the question, please?
Yes, he's asking about the new specs for the new technology that applied for the ACs, like the chilling technology, and I think what do you call it, district cooling systems and so on.
Yeah, no, I think Antonio covered well the need to get the right sort of price incentives in the system, so people are actively wanting to improve, and then making sure that there's a proper regulation of what's available in the market. Certainly the UK experience, okay, it's with heat pumps, but they're the same machines running the other way, is that the key incentives are first long-term energy savings. So if the price of energy is really low, it's really hard to push through incentives. But also you've got to be sure that the cost increases aren't borne by the poorest, and that's where government policy needs to compensate who would otherwise be perceived as losers from having to invest in new equipment, and having the right financing packages available. In the UK, there's incentives now for people to purchase heat pumps, so they're not stuck with the upfront costs, and then that gets paid off over a long period of time against the cost incentives, against the cost savings. So there's quite a lot of policies in there that need to be driven, but I completely agree. Setting the standards so that it's impossible to import machinery that isn't going to meet your energy efficiency goals is a first step, but it's a necessary but not sufficient condition, because, as I say, there's a lot of behaviour change work and policy work working with especially local governments. And I think that role of local governments coming out from the cities discussion is really important, because they play a critical role, because they're the people on the government side that are close enough to see what works in particular localities, and particularly if you're talking about district heating, where one size fits all is a good efficient system, but nobody wants the same temperature, nobody wants the same controls. So how do you allow that flexibility, get that flexibility built into the system? Thanks.
Okay, thank you. And I think Mr. Mohammad Al Taani, if you have any comment or you raise your hand. I don't know if there is any additions. Now we'll go to the hello, Mr. Mohammed.
Yes, thank you again. I just want to add regarding carbon trading. There is like solar coins that the companies or the countries are producing from photovoltaic. There is incentives, and they should send it to Solar Coins Foundation, and they can reward incentives that this is a green production of energy. And also regarding I will educate it from this excellent webinar, but I want to add one important thing, because as you mentioned, I just 40 years in the field of photovoltaic. Still, renewable energy contribute in the peak load. It's not the basic load, and that's why we want to emphasize in the Arab country we should get the benefit from that, not to be a consumer also, and to be used like a field for R&D for the modern or advanced country. And we should contribute that to have R&D institutes, and this will be led by our qualified people, and work labor together with advanced international R&D institutes in this regard. For example, I want to focus that Germany come back to coal because of what's going on in the war between Russia and Ukraine. And also, for example, if we have a big example, I highly appreciate United States of America, because it's high institutes and have a long strategy in everything in the globe. And the contribution of renewable energy in United States is just 12%. And all Arab countries are rich with oil and natural gas. If we now stopped worldwide the natural gas and oil, can we move on using renewable energy? And the factories or facilities are manufacturing photovoltaic or wind generation, blades, everything's all machine. How it's worked if we are want to depend on renewable energy? Because we still facing a problem regarding our mobiles for storage. And now that's mean we should advise our Arab country that they shift gradually to renewable energy, and the fast in this, that to shift for electric vehicles, and to think how we can have remote charging for our green transportation. And might we can be up together with advanced country in and electric vehicles, and we work about smart cities and how the community can contribute on that. This is just my comments on this excellent webinar. And again, thank you for the Kuwait Engineering Association, and many thanks for you personal wise, Your Excellency Engineer Salim Al-Ajmi.
Thank you, Mr. Hamid. Now I think we are run out of time, but we'll take last questions with Abdulaziz. I hope.
Did you hear me?
Yes, you're clear.
Yeah, thank you for valuable information and great conference. Actually, I have a question and inquiry. Be patient with me. My question regarding the presentation from Antonio Campos regarding the regulatory framework. It's kind of obstacle. So is there any initiatives the governments pay attention to the people? This is for my question. My inquiry for a guy who holder a master degree in renewable energy, and he doesn't have any experience in that field. What is your recommendation to at least to improve himself in that field? He has a theoretical knowledge, but he doesn't have any experience. What is your recommendation to improve himself to find a job in that sector? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Abdulaziz. Now, I think the first part of the questions can be taken to Mr. Antonio. Would like to answer it?
I was unmute and I mute myself. So I will start for the end. Getting new skills is important, especially when we are talking about the new energies and the new sources of energies, solar, wind, in any field of the renewable energies. We need to get new skills. Also, we need to get new skills on solutions for battery storage, hydrogen, and the European Union is doing a great job on this. And I'm also glad to say that we have here in Kuwait and in GCC a partnership with Energy, the Skills Institute, that is organization founded by the European Union, with this need to accelerate the skills or the new skills on these new energies and the new solutions. So we are trying to do more on this. For your first question, it's
The first question, yeah, he was talking about the framework.
The framework on policies is everyone mentioned that we needed to know the rules that we are what is guiding us on this path. So we need to have the clear framework. Otherwise, investment banks, they don't come to invest or to take actions. In Kuwait, I will say that we have the PPP laws in Kuwait is very well organized and can bring projects on sustainable energy. Actually, the Ministry of Electricity and Water and Renewable Energy, they just launched an RFQ for a PPP project on the solar, what they call the Shagaya Phase 3. That is 1,100 megawatts. So this is initiatives that the governments here in Kuwait are doing in order to and this is possible because there is a framework for this. But we need more policies. We need more national strategies. We have the Kuwait Vision or the Vision 35 that is our guideline. But we need to go to the practice to know how we can move on this environment.
Yeah, that's I think clear enough. The obstacles, it can be removed if there is a will from the government, and then the process will be moved smoothly until they found the solutions. The framework, it's kind of you will find it like very hard to do it, but when there is a will from the government, I think they can move smoothly to find the solutions. Thank you, my speakers, our speakers. Your participations. I know you stay with us a long time. I wish we could take all the questions, all the participations from the audience, but at the same time, we cannot make our guest speakers staying all day night. But but I think we can communicate through the WhatsApp of the shown in the post. It's specialized for the Sustainability Institute. We can make a group there. We can share the knowledge, share the information. Also, who is asking about the certificate of the attending this conference, they can communicate through the WhatsApp also. Again, thank you, our dear friend, for this the participation. And I said before, the success of the conference, we felt it once we announce about it, because the passion of the people and the potentials of your participations, we found it, and this is the main things, and I think we can repeat it again and again. Thank you again, and we can say now goodbye. We'll see you next time, inshallah. Bye-bye.
Inshallah.
Thanks again.
Thank you, Salem. So great to see you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Yeah.
And Dr. Lucas, will you send me your information? I want to reach out to you directly.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do.
Actually, will all of our emails be on the WhatsApp, or were you gonna just create the WhatsApp groups, Salam?
I'll do both. Yeah, the email
Okay.
and the WhatsApp.
Great.
Yeah, so catch up.
Thank you.
All right.
Ciao, ciao.
Take care, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.